What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up an instrument or synth to the GB1. Along with the mic inputs, each channel also has a 1/4" line input to connect an instrument to each channel. And channels 4 and 5 actually have 2 1/4" line inputs, which is great to use with a stereo instrument like a keyboard or synthesizer. So to show you how that works, I have my guitar right here, and I'm also going to grab this 1/4" instrument cable. I'll plug one end into my guitar, and then I'll plug the other end into one of the 1/4" line inputs. And for today, we'll use the line input on channel 1. So now I'm going to want to raise the gain fader here for channel 1. And then to hear everything coming out of the speakers, I'm going to raise the main left and right faders here. So now if I raise the volume on my guitar and start to play, you should be able to hear it coming out of the speakers. Each channel also has a 2-band EQ with the high and low knob, so I'm just going to plug my microphone back in to show you how those work. So the high knob will control all of the high-end frequencies coming from your channel. So if I lower it, for example, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, you're going to hear that my voice doesn't have as much presence anymore. And if I raised it all the way up, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, you hear it a little too clearly now. So now if we set it back in the middle, check 1 2, check 1 2, you get a nice balance there. Then we have the low knob, which can affect all of the low end frequencies coming from our channel. So if I lower it on my channel 1 here, check 1 2, check 1 2, you're not going to hear as much body or bass coming through my voice. And if I raised it all the way up, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, you'll hear a lot of low end there. So now let's set it back in the middle, check 1 2, check 1 2 for a balance. So since we just talked about connecting a guitar to the mixer, let's now talk about how to connect a keyboard to the mixer. Now, like I mentioned, channels 4 and 5 have the stereo line inputs, which would be great to use with our keyboard or synthesizer. So to connect the keyboard to the mixer, I'm going to take 2 1/4" cables. I'm going to plug one end of both cables into the left and right outputs of my keyboard. Then I'm going to plug the other ends into the left and right inputs on channels 4 and 5. And you want to keep track of which channel is going where. So, for example, if I'm taking the cable going from the left output of my keyboard, I want to plug it into the left input on the mixer. So the next thing I'm going to want to do is raise the gain fader for channels 4 and 5. And I'm going to want to make sure to raise the main left and right faders so we hear everything coming out of the speakers. So now if I raise the volume on my keyboard and play a little something, you'll hear it coming out of the speakers. Now there's also another way we can set up our keyboard to the mixer. So if you take a look at the keyboard and you see that the left output is also a mono output, you can use just one of your 1/4" cables and plug one end into that mono output. Then plug the other end into a single channel on your mixer, say like channel 1. And then you're going to follow these same exact steps by raising the gain and the main left and right faders, and you should be able to hear the keyboard coming out of your speakers. This way you can use just one of the channels on your mixer instead of 2, leaving you some more room. So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up your instrument or keyboard to your GB1. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.